Let me welcome in Ashok Kajaria, who's also joining us, the CMD of Kajaria Ceramics, on earnings this time around. And it's been quite a dismal quarter. Mr. Kajaria, thanks for joining us. April and May, you really saw quite a hit. But with the gradual unlocking that we have seen, how is demand looking now? What's the outlook?
First of all, I am happy to tell you that in the month of July, our production has been to the level of 78%. All the plants have overall have worked at 78% capacity. And as we speak now, all the plants are operational, and we are producing at 85 to 100% depending on the plant. Okay.
So that's good to hear. In terms of operationally as well, what does this mean in terms of going forward? What we can expect in the following quarter? You've already seen some amount of cost-saving measures, lower input costs, and so on and so forth. Do you see all of this taking effect in the next quarter?
It is already happening in the quarter July, August, September that we are talking about. That's one. Secondly, you'll be happy to know that quarter compared to last quarter of 2019, July and September, we should be doing 80% plus of the sales in this quarter. So that's a very positive part. And fortunately, there is no pricing pressure as far as markets are concerned. Positive news is that Morbi is doing a lot of exports. People from Morbi are doing a lot of exports, and they are trying to work out their capacities to the maximum. So there is no pricing pressure at all after the lockdown has opened.
Mr. Kajaria, is it possible for you to share with us that how much of your current demand is a function of new construction and how much of the demand is because of replacement construction? Is there a mathematical way in which we can understand that are you really dependent on new construction or are you dependent on upgrade and replacement?
Instead of replying that, I give you a reply in another way. Most of the major cities like Bangalore, Calcutta, Pune, Chennai, they were under a severe lockdown. So sales from those areas were less by almost 20 to 25%, which has been made up by the smaller cities. This has been made up by smaller cities because that's where the demand came from. And talking about replacement and new construction, replacement is mostly in major cities and new construction is in regional and smaller cities. So that's how this industry has been working all along.
No, that's a great point. So let's say if somebody who's watching the show and wants to understand the future of Kajaria Ceramics, first you benefited largely because you built a brand and then you were able to gain market share and you've become a sizable player now. Now the proposition for Kajaria is that Indians will like to live in better houses, Indians would like to upgrade and they would like to buy a better home and a bathroom tiling experience. But when economy is under stress, what happens to per capita spend? What happens to discretionary spend? Do you think this is going to be transient or this is going to be affecting your business for a couple of quarters?
See, if you recall when we had the last interview, I said we would like to observe June and July. And June and July, the numbers have been positive, growing every month. So looking at that, it is no more transient. It is the call of the current scenario that going forward, things are positive. It looks positive.
What I would like, I'm glad to hear that, you've used word positive and demand very, very, freely. And that's an endorsement of confidence. I mean, this is great news. 2019 was not exactly a best year for consumer discretionary and for the home improvement market because it was a year of slowdown. What I want to understand from you, sir, is that when do you think you will go back to your 2017 and 18 levels? Because that's the time the delta in your business will come in.
See, if things continue like this, I think 21-22 should be, if things continue like this, 21-22 should be a very positive year. If things continue like this, and if we are able to do what we are talking about in quarter 2, I am sure that 3 and 4 will be even better. And 21-22 will be the real good year for Kajaria.
So just to wrap it up, for any company, we understand we need to focus on two things: financial leverage and operating leverage. Operating leverage is a function of demand and expansion. Financial leverage is a function of cost cutting, and it is a function of debt reduction. When both these financial and operating leverage kicks in, earnings, they go really haywire. I'm speaking in a layman's language just for the benefit of our viewers. So when do you think the operating leverage for Kajaria will kick in after a bleak quarter?
See, as if we perform to what we are talking about, I think operating leverage will also come. Financially, already we are cash surplus. So looking at that, I think these things will start happening as we go forward.
Done, I think. All right, Mr. Kajaria, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today and taking us through your numbers, sounding very positive on the way forward, saying things are looking up.